Hailing frequencies open, and welcome to Enterprising Individuals, the Star Trek discussion podcast that boldly goes into excruciating detail about the series, characters, and stories of the Star Trek universe. I'm your host, Aaron Coker, aka Caliban, and I want to welcome you to the 7th season of Enterprising Individuals. Kind of. This is a pre-Season 7 show. It's a 0.5 episode. We're not quite ready to launch the podcast for 2022 just yet, but I wanted to let you know that this will be kind of different year for the show, and I'll expand on that in just a bit. And also, there has been some huge announcements in the world of Trek news, and I couldn't let any time go by without talking about those developments. And to help me do that, on the show today is my co-host on the Just Enough Trope podcast and frequent Enterprising Individuals guest, Mika and Hana. Mika, welcome back to Enterprising Individuals.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome to be here.
So great to be
You're
here
so polite.
for 7th season 0.5.
It's not 7th season 0.5. It's episode 0.5
of the 7th season.
Yeah,
Excuse me. I got it wrong.
I knew it was confusing. I can understand your confusion. You were on the first episode of Enterprising Individuals.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, 6 years ago now.
That is crazy.
A Matter of Honor, a.k.a.
It is.
Riker's going to find out what's going on in some Klingon. What's dating like on a Klingon ship?
Oh my gosh. I think I talked about that episode on that. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm all there. Yeah, it's an interesting episode. It's not like the best TNG episode, but I feel like it's one that just it's stuck in my head for some reason. You know?
Yeah. I know why it did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's kind of the first episode that we get to see what Klingon life is like that isn't, 3 Klingons who were frozen
right.
50 years ago, when the war was still going on, or 100 years ago.
Right.
And so, yeah, they're kind of chill.
Yeah, and it's kind of the first time we really get to see that they're not completely hostile, to humans. And like, I know, but like, we don't really know war super well at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, but like, not hostile outside of, it's baked in, the hostility.
Yeah.
In a fun way.
In a fun way.
You're palling around with Brian Thompson, having a good time.
Yeah, right.
And if your captain gets out of line, you just kill him and then you're captain.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Watch out, Picard.
Kapla.
Watch your ass.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I can't remember if Riker sits down on a chair funny in that episode or not, but
Those Klingon chairs are real boxy.
Yeah.
He's going to have a hard time swinging his leg over that one.
But I will never get sick of that meme because it's hilarious. It's just a very interesting character thing that happens, So
It pays dividends. Who knew? Who knew that out of all the people on the show, the meme master in chief would be Jonathan Frakes?
Yeah, I know. It's like him and Picard with his palm in his face.
Oh, sure.
But,
Oh, sure.
But
Picard's got one move. Well, that and, throwing his hand out and asking, why this and that won't happen.
Right. I never would have guessed it would have been Riker. I mean, I guess he's just a versatile guy, and he just does a lot of things.
This one's true. It happened. It did.
Fact.
The format and the structure of the show has changed a lot since then. We're still talking about episodes of Trek in excruciating detail, but of course we've added our supplemental episodes where we talk about the issues that are dealt with in episodes of Trek, and we've had literally hundreds of guests. Maybe 200 is hundreds. We've had more than 100 guests on the show. We're currently at 326 episodes.
Wow.
That includes the episodes of our live show, Discoverage, which airs at 8 p.m. live on Thursday nights, where we talk about new episodes of Trek on Paramount+. It would seem that there are no Trek frontiers left to conquer.
It would seem that way.
However, you're playing right into my trap. There is one area of the Star Trek universe that we have not explored in our previous 6 seasons, and not for lack of interest. I've got a lot of requests from listeners and from guests in the past about this, but we've never officially talked about the movies of Star Trek on the show. We've covered a few of the Trek films with our yearly live panels that we do at the Convergence Convention, but we've never really put the films to the Enterprising Individual standard. And that's going to change this year.
Okay.
The plan for this year is to cover each of the Star Trek films Probably in order. No promises. The plan is to do them in order. We'll see how it works out.
Okay, sure.
We made it to 7 seasons, so we get Star Trek movies as a treat.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be covering all 13 Star Trek films, original series, Next Generation, and the Kelvin Timeline films.
Wow.
On episodes featuring returning show guests. So
Nice.
we're gonna set up the Avengers of past Enterprising Individuals guests. That'll make up the bulk of season 7 this year. We won't just be doing that, though. We're also continuing to explore the greater world of Star Trek through our supplemental episodes with all new guests.
Nice.
So 13 movie episodes, then probably 13, maybe more supplemental episodes. A little bit shorter season this year, but longer episodes, deeper dives into the films and science and philosophy of Star Trek.
Awesome. That
What do you
sounds
think?
amazing. Yeah. That's a pretty great idea.
I can't tell you how many times I've had, I've gotten in contact with a guest, they explained how we do it. We talk about individual episodes,
Right.
and have them say like, "You do movies? I love to talk about so and so," and I'm like, "We don't, it's kind of like our bag
Not
is
really our
episodes,
thing,
but
yeah.
that doesn't have to stick forever." So get in touch with some of those people, have them back. We'll be talking about Star Trek films on the show this year.
I think that sounds amazing. I'm really excited to hear
What's your favorite Star Trek film?
Oh, God, you would put me on the spot. I think I have to say Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of people's. Either that one or the 6th original series one, which I forget the name of it right now, but has a lot of Klingons in it, and including Christopher Plummer, and Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
Okay, I got there.
You got it.
Eventually. Whew, my brain.
We'll
I just
be having you on for that one.
I forget things.
See it. So
It's really not great.
as has just been pointed out, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting worse.
What?
Just as if you blow up a balloon too much, it explodes.
Yeah.
But if you blow up a balloon really big and you tie it off and you leave it for some time, what happens?
It kind of deflates.
It gets flabby.
Yeah.
I feel like my Trek brain has gotten... I was so proud in the 2nd, 3rd season to any time a guest was like, the one with the Geordie goes on the thing, and it's like, oh, Samaritan Snare. Like, boom, I'm right there with the information.
With the episode title.
Now, I am like you, mere mortals. I don't remember things half as well as I used to.
Well, I'm sorry you've been brought down to our level.
This balloon, he said, pointing at his head, so flabby.
Oh.
Well, I like Wrath of Khan too, and stick around because we've got a news story about Wrath of Khan that might interest you.
Oh, awesome.
But let's talk about some of the news in the world of Star Trek. Well, I know that you have been keeping up with new Star Trek episodes, episodes of Discovery and Picard, Lower Decks, and Prodigy on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
And there was a huge announcement last week that a whole lot more Star Trek is coming our way.
Yeah.
We were at the point where Discovery took a break. They did like the first half of their season, took a little break. Mm-hmm. And people were like, it's weird. Like this is the first time that we haven't had a renewal of the show yet.
Yes.
So people were wondering, well, I mean, like, it's doing well, but what do you do? Do you go to 7 seasons like shows have done in the past, or
Right.
what's their plan? Questions answered, and questions that you weren't even asking have been answered. We have found out that we have a schedule now for the first half of 2022 of what shows will be on Paramount Plus. Currently, Prodigy is airing and will wrap up in 2 weeks on February 3rd. Then on February 10th, Discovery will return. So Discovery has 6 more episodes to go. Sure. That will air until March 17th. But hold on.
Whoa.
Because Picard Season 2 is debuting March 3rd. So the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th will have an episode of Discovery and an episode of Picard on the same night.
That's so much Star Trek in one night.
Yes. Pity me and Ella, my co-host on Discoverage.
Yes,
but it's
I do.
exciting though,
Yeah.
because it's the end of a current running season of Star Trek.
Yes.
It's the start of another one.
Yeah.
And we'll see. We've already seen the trailer for season 2 of Picard. What'd you think?
I mean, it looks exciting, I should say. I'm excited to see Guinan again. That has been confirmed, that she will be back. We already knew we were going to see Q. Excited to see him. And I guess I'm kind of interested to see like how this is going to play out. I mean, we can tell from the trailer there's going to be some time travel. So like, How does that work? I feel like that's
you
not
fly
something...
around the sun. That's how it works.
Well, right. I feel like we haven't seen... I should say... I actually am correcting myself. We have seen a lot of that recently, especially with like Discovery, but there was some time travel even in Enterprise. But it's not something that Trek does a whole lot.
No, it's when you want an event in Trek, you do time travel.
Right.
And I think one of the side effects of having these short seasons and not just having... sorry, everybody, we have to do a fistful of datas because we need to do 26 episodes and they're not all going to be great. Right. Or we have to save money this week. So everybody's just going to be yelling at each other on the bridge or in the captain's ready room. Everything kind of feels like an event, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so they've pulled out time travel quite a bit.
Recently, yeah.
Now, Q is no stranger to time travel, but Picard's no stranger to time travel. I think it totally fits to do, one season that seems to be focused on this kind of very specific time travel beat. You got time travel, good chance, or an alternate universe, good chance to bring in Guinan.
Yes.
So I think it fits for Picard, but it's true. We're seeing it. If Strange New World starts up and it's immediately, oh no, it's wormholes taking us back in time.
Right.
I feel like, okay, come on, guys.
Yeah, right.
We're in World War II.
Yeah. No.
Ooh, World War I. Haven't done that.
No, I haven't.
Well,
what did you think of the trailer?
I thought on the things that you thought.
Oh, okay.
It took me 5 watches to realize that Guinan's bar is at 10 Forward Avenue. And,
come on.
Yeah, I know. in the greater Los Angeles area.
Wow.
But anyway.
I just want to say her hat is massive and fabulous.
I think we now know that her hat ages with her.
Like it gets larger?
Yeah.
As she ages?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even want to know how. I know Guinan.
Back in Mark Twain's time, she had the little hat.
Right.
But then it just
grows.
Bigger and then it gets bigger and bigger.
It's like rings of a tree. That's
you got to trim it.
Right.
Yeah, she hasn't been trimming it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Strange New Worlds, on May 5th is the last episode of the second season. Picard, their finale, and on that same night is the premiere of Strange New Worlds.
That's exciting.
Now, in the old days of TV, that would be a lead-in, right?
Yeah.
You're going to premiere a new show. You'd stick it onto an important episode of a previous show. So as ER wraps up, then you debut,
Grey's
Chicago
Anatomy
PD or Grey's Anatomy, a different network. But yeah. So that will run uninterrupted until July 7th. Okay. So that is 25 weeks of Trek with 29 episodes. Wow. And that is just up until the beginning of July.
Yeah, because then after that we have the remaining 10 episodes of Prodigy.
Are you doing the news now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
You're right. The second half of Prodigy,
yes.
first season, yeah. And then season 3 of Lower Decks.
Right.
That all takes place in the second half of 2022. So 3, 4, 3, yeah, it's like that will be Trek every week for the entire year.
That's a ton.
It has been 0, 1, 2 days since an accident.
Yes.
It has been, take out the 23 weeks of Trek and just put like an 8 on its side.
Yeah, right.
Why doesn't McDonald's ever just go infinity served? That's what I want to know.
Fantastic question. Do they still do that?
You
with their
are
signs?
a McDonald's hamburger.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
So that's all very exciting. Here's something else that's exciting. Listen to this. Discovery, it's been announced, has been renewed for season 5.
Nice.
It will be 10 episodes instead of a different number, like say 13.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
So the speculation is, and maybe it's not speculation at this point, that having more than 10 episodes was a condition of the Netflix co-production deal.
Oh.
So Netflix is like, we're going to run these too, right? And so, or at least internationally. And so we want more than the X amount.
I see.
But as far as Secret Hideout and Paramount is concerned, 10 seems like the nice round number that they want.
It's fine. Yeah.
And, honestly, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
You get used to producing these shows, within a certain time frame. Mm-hmm. They've, as entertaining as they've been, some of the previous series, I think, have either struggled to fit into 10 episodes or have struggled to fill 10 episodes.
Yes.
So I think the more that we just see 10 as the unit of production of these Star Trek shows, I think the smoother things are going to get in terms of storytelling. I
would agree. I think even with this current season of Discovery, not necessarily that there have been entire episodes, maybe there have, but there have at least been parts of episodes that's like, why are we focusing on this? why are we doing this?
Seems like a little extra bit that's
yeah,
in here.
Right. Like, there seems like there's more extreme things happening. So why do we keep coming back to this one thing?
Isn't there a black hole hoovering up systems?
Right. Exactly.
We're playing chess with a computer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So that's solid. That's good news. Also, Picard has been renewed for season 3.
Wow. Before it even airs.
Yes.
Confident.
Yes.
Okay.
They, of course, I think are back in production after having shut down at the beginning of the year because of COVID. But they're back on track.
I hope everybody's okay there.
Yes. And if everybody's okay and everything is back on track, they should be tentatively coming out probably around the same, well, maybe like middle of 2023.
Okay.
Speaking of getting a re-up before you premiere, Strange New Worlds has been renewed for season 2.
Wow. Okay.
And
I mean, I guess if it airs on your network, you can kind of do what you want.
And it is already ramping back up into season 2 production.
Okay.
So that will also tentatively release in 2023. Lower Decks has been renewed for a 4th season as well.
All right. Makes sense.
And it's not live action, it's animation, but is slated to probably return in 2023. We'll see.
How about Prodigy? Any news about that yet?
Yeah, it has been renewed for a 2nd season, and it was speculated at the end of last year that it would come out or begin in 2022.
Really? Now,
that's old news, like because they've split it up and they've just announced this. There's nothing confirmed, but they're moving forward on that, and we should see it. I would imagine early 2023 probably.
Okay, I'm curious also to know, like, how many episodes they order. Is it still
another 20 probably?
Wait, yeah. Is it still being produced in collaboration with Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay, because it seems like Nickelodeon's the one that wants more than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta have a lot of cartoon episodes.
We got a lot of airtime to fill for kids, so we gotta keep them busy.
This thing's got to run every day.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Like every day, you got to foil the plans of Cobra, and then you have to tell a kid not to burn himself on the stove. That's G.I. Joe's mission.
Right. Or
that's the other half of the battle.
Or if you
keeping
Dragon
these dumb
Ball,
kids from falling down the stairs, or trying crack or whatever it is.
If you Dragon Ball, you just yell and you shoot your powers from your hands.
Okay. All right. I won't hear any bad news. Bad talk against Dragon Ball on this show. So that is all really good news. Any one of those in particular that you are looking forward to seeing?
I'm curious about the 2nd season of Picard. I don't know how I have mixed feelings about it. I'm kind of excited. I don't know. I'm excited for Strange New Worlds. I think I'm probably the most excited to see that. How about you?
Picard, for sure.
Yeah.
After the 1st season, I like the world that they set up, although I thought that it could have been a little smoother, but they have such a what seems like such a solid concept going forward.
Yeah.
And Michael Chabon is not really part of it, as far as I understand. I mean, I'm sure he's a producer, but he's not running it.
Right.
And I don't think he's bad. I just think I feel like they've got a strong idea, and they're gonna go get right into it, and hopefully we'll get something really rewarding out of it.
We'll get a new Borg Queen. That's cool. Yeah.
Or is it the old Borg Queen?
It might be the old
really
Borg Queen, but it's played by a new actress,
know.
I guess, is what I was trying to say.
We don't really know.
We don't know. You're right. We don't. I don't know how long
Get me a
Borgs live.
White woman.
Yeah, right. She needs
Put tubes on her head.
She needs to be very thin. You need to see her cheekbones,
Yes, right. Yes. I need to be able to carve cheese with these Perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Put the gray makeup on her and get her out there.
Get some tubes on her head. We're done.
Have just a torso floating around. Let's talk about some other good news for Discovery. Discovery has been nominated again for GLAAD Media Awards this year.
Okay. Great.
This is the 4th time it's been nominated. It was nominated originally in 2018.
Okay. Wow.
And for Outstanding Drama Series.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be competing against other shows such as Batwoman, The Chai, Doom Patrol, and The L Word, Supergirl, Pose. Wow, that's a big category.
Oh, wow. I was not aware that The L Word is still on. Is it like a new version or something?
The L Word, Generation Q.
I'm sorry. What? Generation
Mon
Q?
Capitan.
What does the Q stand for? Like, queer?
The trial never ends.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, that's exciting. I'm excited for them. It would be great if they won. I do think that it is great. that we have more representation in Discovery for LGBTQ characters. I don't know. I would like to see that continue. I know that we're kind of exploring, it's not necessarily LGBTQ, but like personhood, I guess, with like the computer like being like a fully realized entity. So
really, like, I mean, like the ultimate goal, every show's goal should be to get on this list, right? Like everybody should be trying to be.
Yes.
This is a list of shows that I guess have prominent LGBTQ characters or are dealing with LGBTQ storylines, but like every show should want to be on here.
Yeah.
You know, once GLAAD is able to nominate every single show ever, then they're like, shut it down, turn off the lights. We've done it, everyone.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But you're right. Once a show like Discovery, which already has such great representation of LGBTQ actors and characters on their show, then they can move it to like the secondary or the tertiary level, which is telling a story about a computer who is trying to be recognized as a person.
Right.
But in the great Star Trek tradition, it is a metaphor for...
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point.
Yeah, right. Recognizing humanity and being able to say, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The GLAAD Awards, sponsored by Kettle One Vodka. I don't know.
What? Are you serious? I mean, LGBTQ people like getting drunk too, I guess. I mean, that's kind of like a dub. But
on Kettle One.
Apparently.
I guess you can't really pick who your sponsors are. But,
yeah.
So that's great news and good luck to them. And we're all winners when we win GLAAD Awards.
Yes, I think so.
What do I got to do to get a GLAAD Award?
I
mean, he said not so angrily.
I don't know, write GLAAD an email and be like, hey, we're at the podcast awards.
Yeah, GLAAD loves it when people yell at them for...
No, but like podcasts should get recognized too.
I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, we just have to try harder. Well, let's talk about another story of the awards persuasion. Star Trek Discovery has been nominated for a 2022 award from the Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild.
That's awesome. Congratulations to them.
They have been nominated previously. I believe Picard has also been nominated, but a Trek series has never won this before.
Which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get no respect, I tell you. Pulling at my future tie. Or like a lot of times, like they have no tie. The future is no tie. It's like a little weird collar and no tie.
No tie.
Yeah.
Or like we saw on Sailor Moon recently, just a collar and a tie.
Or the future ascot.
Sure. Yeah.
They bring the ascot back.
Right.
Because you know that's coming back.
Oh, everything coming back.
I feel like the ascot is pinned literally to a specific period of time, but maybe it could work in the future. Who knows? Discovery is nominated for this award in the category of limited miniseries or new media series. So obviously in the past, Voyager has been nominated for this twice. That would probably just be in, broadcast sci-fi series.
Yeah.
They still have a new media category, huh?
Apparently. I mean, is this when they say new media?
When will the ghettoization of streaming media stop? When is YouTube makeup tutorials going to be eligible for this? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, you've got like maybe. Paramount, literally Paramount.
Yeah.
I know that they had not failed. It still exists in a certain form, network at one point. Mm-hmm. But like, if ABC does this, like, who's getting nominated? Like Falling Skies.
Right.
Wait, no, Falling Skies is on cable now. Even TNT. Right. TNT is in the main category, and yet Star Trek has to slum it at the kids' table with new media. Come on.
When you said new media, I thought you meant like it was like a new series, and I was like, well, it's the 4th year, but now I understand what you mean. Streaming equals new media.
Hashtag new media.
I don't like that.
I know.
Streaming is kind of the new thing, so it shouldn't be new media anymore. It deserves your respect.
I don't understand that reasoning, but okay.
It
You just said it's the new thing. I see what you mean.
It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. cable doesn't really exist
Yes.
like it used to.
Question, is Netflix in the new media category?
Probably.
Netflix, which it makes up like 75% of all the series that people watch and that I hear about all the time.
Right.
Is Disney Plus the new media?
It should be.
So you're going to tell me that The Mandalorian, which is probably going to win this thing, sorry Star Trek,
Yeah.
is the new media category?
Apparently, yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make the rules.
I don't make the rules either.
Yeah.
When's Carl Weathers going to be on Star Trek?
Ooh, good question. Who would he play? What kind of character would he play? Would they make him an alien?
He would
they put a bunch
play
of
an
paint on
older.
him?
Yeah, well, you could.
I hope not.
Yeah, you could. A little silly putty on his forehead.
Sure. That'd be
He's
okay.
an alien. Why didn't Voyager win? He's an older Starfleet. he's a Commodore.
Okay.
Not like a big like a vice admiral.
Uh-huh.
And he's always like, well, you take a little Earl Grey tea and you take a little heart of targ. You got a stew going.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Show up in Picard. There you go.
And who's got the biggest arms on the new Star? Nobody has big arms on the new Star Trek shows.
I don't think so.
Linus.
I don't know how big are Anson Mount's arms. I don't know.
You've seen them in person.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody's like people are
Somebody-
buff, but they're not like buff. You know?
Yeah, somebody on the new on Strange New Worlds is going to be jacked, right?
Yeah,
Somebody has
that
to
makes
be.
sense. Yeah.
Dr. Mbengue is going to be doing deadlifts.
Lower Decks, the guy who came back to
Ransom.
life, not Ransom.
Well, Ransom does have guns though.
But the guy who came back to life, the older guy who...
Shax?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shax, so Shax and Carl Weathers.
Yes.
Big handshake.
Make it happen.
You got you pushing too many pencils. We don't even use pencils anymore. I want to top this story off by saying, I guess I hope Star Trek wins, but I don't love a lot of the makeup on Discovery.
I don't
Some of it I
either.
really love. Some of it I don't really know. Like, Glenn Hetrick is an artist who works in latex.
Yeah,
And
apparently.
he is painted with an extremely broad brush, latex all over everything. And what happened to the good old, you just, color somebody up? People
Yeah,
say
there's
it's like,
nothing wrong
but
with
it
it.
doesn't, you could tell it's paint. I don't think if it's done well, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Shran and the Andorians on Enterprise.
I love the Andorians on Enterprise.
And a lot of work goes into that.
Yeah.
I think probably it just has to do with once you make somebody a green face that you can just stick onto their face, it's
Is it
faster
easier or
than having to
faster?
do like a couple different shades. And
Okay. It just seems
seems
like...
to be like the way that the things are going.
I don't know. It just seems like it makes the actors less expressive.
Anything that hurts the actor's performance
Yeah.
is a drawback.
That's what I think.
To the point where, this is not a Farscape show, but Anthony Simcoe, the guy that plays Dargo, if anybody's watched Farscape, which of course probably people have, the makeup changed a lot between season 1 and season 2 because he was a real. It's funny because he doesn't even act anymore, but he was like a real serious, like, method actor.
Oh, that's funny.
And he hated the contacts they gave him in the first 6 episodes. They got rid of those.
Okay.
Because he felt like the contraction or expansion of your pupils, that's part of my performance. And so
Really?
I've got it. Yeah. So he didn't like
Interesting.
that. And then in the second season, they redesigned his makeup so he could move around easier and like also emote more. And so,
Oh, okay.
but that was important to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's okay. I mean, look, I think it's important to work with your actors to get something that works for both you and the makeup
Has
artist.
to serve the performance.
It does.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing.
If you've got a ton of money and you want to do a bunch of like big fly heads and saurians and stuff like that, that's cool. But like if we can't, it has to support what the actor's trying to do.
I think so.
So a vote for a bit of silly putty on the bridge of a nose.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons that they got rid of. Well, also because her little cute face, but they changed the Trill makeup. The guy had a big forehead.
Yes.
And they bring Terry Farrell on, and they're like, well, number one, we're not going to cover up that face. And
No.
number two, She's got to be have this big forehead the whole time.
Yeah, no.
Benjamin.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit in the head. Clunk.
No, I don't think that would have gone very well with the fans either. So I think they made the right choice.
Well, I do too. Here is a choice that you can make. You can choose to listen to the Star Trek audio drama that's coming out, Star Trek Picard, No Man's Land.
Oh.
It is written by Kirsten Beyer and Mike Johnson.
Okay.
Two very familiar names from the world of Star Trek writing. And it features the voices of Michelle Hurd and Jerry Ryan.
Interesting. Is this out now? And
it comes out February 22nd.
Okay. I don't know if this says this or not. I'm going to ask this question anyways. If you don't know, that's fine. But is this an important lead in to season 2 of Picard, or is this like an aside story where we get more between the two characters?
It's the second one.
Okay.
And it's also, hey, sure hope they're really gay in season 2, but since we kind of like didn't get to that in season 1,
here's an
unofficial audio drama.
Okay. All right.
Do you deserve your GLAAD award? I guess that's Discovery, but like, come on, earn that GLAAD award.
Yeah.
And do this on screen. But
it would be better if it was on screen.
But yeah, but this, that was, they obviously wanted to put these characters together. And so we're going to get more of that in this. Here's the synopsis. I'll just tell you the synopsis.
Okay.
While 7 of 9 and Raffi are enjoying some much needed R&R in Raffi's remote hideaway. I hope that's not her trailer by Best Guess Rocks. I hope she's got a nicer hideaway.
I think that is what it is.
Hey, you're kind of cute, but your place sucks.
Yeah.
Their downtime is interrupted by an urgent cry for help. A distant, beleaguered planet has enlisted the Fenris Rangers to save an embattled evacuation effort. As Seven and Raffi team up to rescue a mysteriously ageless professor whose infinity-shaped talisman has placed him in the deadly sights of a vicious Romulan warlord run-on sentence, they take tentative steps to explore the attraction depicted in the final moments of Picard Season 1.
Okay. Wow. That is a lot. I thought this was going to be focusing on their relationship, and they're like, well, Star Trek fans aren't going to...
At the end of this paragraph, they are focusing on that.
Right. It's like, well, Star Trek fans are going to tune in just for that. Yes, they would!
Yeah.
Seriously, why does there need to be a huge crisis that we're also taking care of in the middle of this?
Well, I mean,
okay.
You want to have pew-pew sounds and stuff like that.
All
but
right.
it's clear that, I mean, I guess they start and end the paragraph with, we're going to develop that relationship.
Okay, all right, it's bookended.
Yeah.
Is this,
do you think,
like one episode, or like, do we have any idea about like the length of this?
It is an audio drama like an audio book, so I think it will just be one thing.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But that's the information that we have so far. What I like about this, well, first of all, that sounds like a cool synopsis.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
Yes.
We talked a little about Picard Season 2, and we don't know. It seems like they're going to be sort of paired off, at least in some parts of this new season.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they could just be, being gay and doing crime for the whole time. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But kind of feel like, a weekly drama, you want to create tension in the characters. So my theory is, and I don't know if this is true, that we will catch up with them post-relationship. It's more interesting...
Really?
There's more conflict if they have to work together, but they have a history, right?
Huh.
You could have...
I understand what you're saying.
Here's a great example. But... You could have the Enterprise D make her maiden voyage and have the hot XO make eyes at the comely counselor character. Mm-hmm. Or you could say they dated in college, it ended badly, and now we've got this.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So if they're it just seems like the flavor of the show more that it's tense and they're snapping at each other as they're kicking the crap out of LA cops.
Wow. I mean, it does kind of,
but they're all bad.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and it does seem that way. it's disappointing.
Well, no, okay. The alternate universe that I have created with my guess about what's going to happen is disappointing. I don't know if that's true at all. Although,
I guess I'll have to listen to the radio drama.
Yeah, I'm going to check this out for sure. In between Kirsten and Mike, who are both very good and know Star Trek inside and out.
Yeah.
I'm sure that this is going to be a cool story with lots of pew pew sounds.
Yes. Pew pew pew.
Or the phaser sound.
What is the phaser sound? Okay.
Right? That's a hand phaser.
Right. It's not quite as fun to say as pew pew pew, but it's so cool.
I think Seven had a pew pew gun in the first season, right? Maybe
Probably.
if you're firing a compression rifle,
okay,
it's got the
it's got the pew pew noise. All right.
It's got to give us the pew pew.
Yeah,
it's so mid 70s Doctor Who to have like, well, a light based weapon. You don't see beams of light, so like the end of the gun glows, and then a spot on the person glows, and they go, oh. It's like,
right.
No, we need like beams.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
We need to see where this is going the entire time.
When I blow up Remic's head,
right,
and a creature comes out of it, I want to see a beam melting the flesh off his skull.
Right, exactly.
And we got it.
We totally got it.
Yeah.
We got there.
But now we're at just little bits of pew pew.
Yeah. With like those full lasers.
Bits of Pew Pew is my debut album. It's due out in July. So check that out on iTunes and Spotify.
I'll be pre-ordering that.
Well, I think it's going to do it for the news check-in for this week. And Mika and Hana, thanks so much for joining me to talk about Star Trek news. Remind people where they can find you and the Just Enough Trope podcast online.
Yeah, they can find me at Mika and Hana on Twitter and justenougghtrope.com.
What has been happening on Just Enough Trope?
Well, last week we talked about the last episode of season 6 of The Expanse, possibly the last episode ever. We don't know.
I think it's starting to look more and more like that's true.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything yet, so that's not really great news. And we also talked about the tragedy of Macbeth, the new film by Joel Cohen, starring Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand. I had to write that down to get her name right because I have been... just calling her McDermott and just everything McDermott.
Frances Dillon.
Yeah.
McDormand. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I apologize. She's a fantastic actress.
Dillon McDermott.
Yeah.
Frances McDing-dong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing in my brain, and I apologize.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve that. But I mean, it was okay. It was a choice to me. It was all in black and white. That episode is out now, so you can check that out and see what we think about the film.
When is Denzel Washington going to do a Star Trek?
Good question.
We've had Christopher Plummer did a Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
So if we ever get a Star Trek 4, and
yeah, he could be in his next Star Trek film. Is that his
That's
breathing?
That's me breathing. Not holding my breath for Star Trek 4. Okay. Maybe someday.
Yes.
But yeah, wouldn't he be good? Wouldn't he be a good... I mean, he's already done, your Crimson Tide, where he talks about, getting warp speed on that radio. So Star Trek references in it. But, he's been like, follow my commands, fire those torpedoes or don't fire those torpedoes, I think is what he's doing in that movie. So like, you see him in like he's got courage under fire. He's played a military man. He can take the weight of responsibility. He can order men to their deaths. He can fire the phasers.
I mean, he's definitely a leader.
He does. Yeah. Well, yeah, right. He is not, he's done action movies. I don't really think of him as an action star.
True.
But Liam Neeson is 68 years old.
Right.
He's an action star. So,
and that act started later in his life.
Yeah.
When he became an action star. So it could still happen.
Yeah. So we get, I'm not saying like maybe, I don't know, maybe he's the main character if we, move away from the original crew. But he's a, supporting character. He's a rogue captain.
Sure.
I would, I'd resist the urge to put a bunch of makeup on him.
I would too.
That was kind of the problem with Idris Elba, who I did like a lot as Krall in Star Trek Beyond, but he's just, he's just under latex the entire time.
Right.
So yeah, something like that.
I think that would be really cool. I would totally like to see that. Yeah. And
we didn't land on the planet. We beamed down to it.
That's right.
That's from Malcolm X.
This week on Just Enough Trope, we're going to be talking about Moon Knight because the new trailer just dropped for the series.
Yeah.
And we're actually specifically going to be talking about Moon Knight's first solo comic series, which came out in 1980, the first 3 issues of that.
Yeah.
So...
grim and gritty.
Very grim and gritty. And he's a very interesting character. What is you explained him very well to me the other day.
Oh, interesting. Are you going to do it now?
No, I'm trying to prompt you to do it, but I'm not exactly sure like how.
Well, he is an interesting character because he has a weird origin that changed a couple times, and he was a supporting character for a while before he became like had his own book. And I also think it's interesting that his first series is really gritty for like 1980 or whenever it came out.
Yeah, and
it came out like way before. I guess Daredevil was already starting to pick up at that time, but it came out before Watchmen, before Dark Knight Returns in 1986. When we think of comics, reaching the sort of grim and gritty, things are going to be rough from now on.
Right. It's not just Zowie and
he's
Pow.
Dealing with, it's not Zowie and Pow. He's dealing with like racism and homelessness and like all this really weird stuff in his comic.
Yeah.
Also while wearing the big white Marshmallow Man costume and jumping around. So
I know.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what Oscar Isaac does with that. Another guy who get this guy into Trek.
Oh yeah,
Paramount, get these people into Trek.
Do you think he would be hesitant to do it because of his experience with Star Wars? It's a different company though,
If
and
he costs less than Chris Hemsworth, we got to get him in here. That's all I'm saying.
Right, exactly. I have no idea what his price is, but I mean, it's kind of funny to me that like despite his experience with Star Wars, he's like, yeah, I'll work with Disney again. I mean, I know it's kind of different management in a way, kind of.
Well, no, I mean,
it is, but
and he's not just. Shouldn't I have died in the first movie? I don't really have an arc anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of here.
What am I doing here? Yeah, I know. I kind of feel bad for him. But anyways, I'm excited about Moon Knight.
Yeah, so you can tune in to Just Enough Trope. Comes out every Monday and hear more about Moon Knight and the other things that we talk about on the show. Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining me. I want to remind the listeners that they can follow us for news and updates on Twitter at EISTPOD and chat with us on Discord about Trek and other topics by following the link in the show notes. And that is it from us. We are excited to bring you another year of enterprising individuals. We will see you soon, and until then, live long and prosper.